Hey, what's up, people? My name is Aaron, and today we will start talking about Spanish. Okay, this time I'm gonna teach you the 5 digraphs that are also used as many phonemes, like ch, l, r, g, and q. So, also I'm gonna teach you the verbal conjugations, and this is an important thing in the Spanish language. So yeah, we will start talking about an introduction of the verbs in Spanish. So nothing more, people, let's start. Basically, we know that the Spanish has 5 digraphs, like ch, that is representing the deep palatal affricate phoneme, like ch you use in your mouth. L, that is representing the palatal lateral phoneme, that is the basically the sound, like L. What more? R, representing the multiple vibrating phoneme. All your throat is doing the vibration, R. What more? Q, Q, that is representing before the vowels E, and that make another sound, for example que or ki, and the voiceless velar phoneme. And also we know the gu, that is representing like gu, but is the same in front of the e and e in Spanish. So it's like the voiced velar phoneme. And but now I'm gonna read you an important text that I found on internet that is, I think, that very interesting, talking about all of this, So let's see. Currently, and according to the 2010 spelling, no digraphs is part of the alphabet, so ch and l are not considered letters. These two digraphs have traditionally been considered letters because, unlike what happens with the other digraphs, they are the only possible graphical representation of the phonemes that they represent. So the R is also a digraph. They are 2 letters, but not one. So although it represents a single phoneme, the vibrante that we are talking, the vibrant multiple, for example, for perro or carro. Unlike what has happened with the ch and l, the digraph R has not traditionally been considered a letter of the alphabet, or of the basically the Spanish alphabet, And yes, in Spain, but in America it has been common. And this has surely happened because the same multiple vibrating phonemes is also represented with another thing, the R. I mean, just one letter, R, and not R. So we have 5. We know that we have the digraph ch, or also known as che, represent the phoneme ch, and it's, for example, you can use in chapa, you have chapa, chorizo, caucho, and also we have cancha. What more? We have the digraph L, that as also like L, represent that sound. For example, you can use it in llanto, llamar, llorar, callar, o callado. What more? We have the digraph G, that represents the phoneme G, and is before the E, like the E and E in Spanish. You can use it, for example, in guitarra, guerra, comulgue, lie o cuelgue. What more? We have the digraph R that represents the phoneme R that we was talking about, and it's an intervocalic position. So you can use it, for example, in words that are perro, gato, recorrer, cigarrillo, curry, carretera, no? You know that types of word. Finally, we can start talking about the verbs. I think that I was waiting this moment for a lot of time, so finally we can start talking about an introduction of them, and we will see like more in the specific form more later. So one of the most important concepts when we are teaching and learning Spanish is the conjugating verb. So helping your students to understand how these words changes with the tenses and the use. So this time we will see like the verb conjugations are the different endings, the different endings that an infinitive verb has. So there are three types of verb conjugations. We have the first conjugation, all verbs that end in "ar" in the infinitive form. The second conjugation, all verbs that end in "er" in the infinitive form. And we have the third conjugation, that all verbs are all verbs that end in the "ir" form, like in the infinitive form. So here I will post you an image with example for the first, second, and third conjugation, and I will try to pronounce some of them for you. So first conjugation, ar: amar, atar, vacilar, cavar, chutar, danzar, estirar, fatigar, ganar, hilar, inspirar, investigar, jugar, liar, llamar, mudar, navegar, operar, palmar, quemar, respirar, saltar, tirar, unificar, venerar, vigilar, serocopiar, yermar, zarpar, ensurrar. Now let's see the second conjugation, er. We have abastecer, aprender, barrer, caer, devolver, envejecer, coger, extender, favorecer, guarecer, hacer, lamer, llover, meter, nacer, oler, perecer, recoger, saber, tener, trascender, vencer, and yacer. For the last one, we have the third conjugation, ir. We have asistir, blandir, construir, despedir, dirigir, erigir, fingir, gemir, herir, hervir, infringir, ir, like the verb ir, latir, mentir, omitir, apartir, partir, repartir, revivir, servir, transmitir, urgir, vivir, shungir, and zambushir. So to understand what are the verbs in infinitive form, are those that are presented in a sentences in an unconjugated way, and that is without referring to a certain tense or a verb mode. So they describe the basic action and without the own conjugation. So but that is just the verb in the original form and it's not conjugated. So we have to remember that you always has to conjugate them in the different modes and grammatical tenses. I mean, I think that this is the most difficult part in the Spanish language. You know, when you have to think, if you have to, I don't know, say conjugate the verbs, and also you have to watch the phrase and conjugate the grammatical tenses, and this is really difficult, but I think that you can do it. So you have to practice, and you will sure do it. So let's see. Here we have an example with the verb ir and all his conjugation. Okay, here we have an image. So finally we are going to explain a bit how the verb is composed a bit and how it can change due to the effect of its environment. Basically, you see that in verb, as in rest of the words, we can highlight two parts, the lexema or root, and also morphemes that are called verbal designances. So, or designances, and they are endings in the verbs that indicate the verbal accidents. For example, you have person, number, mode, and time. Why we call them like accidents, because I really don't know. So we can refer to these accidents as the environment or setting by which the verbs are governed. Within them we have the grammatical person that indicate who performs the action of the verb. They identify with a personal pronoun. You know, you have third person, second person, and third person, and you have two modes. We have singular and plural. So in singular you have yo, tú, usted, él, ella. In plural you have nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, or ustedes if you are talking in Latin American Spanish. And what more do you have? Ellos and ellas. Another point, you have the number. Is it related to the person or people who perform the action of the verb? You have singular or plural. Gender is not considered because all the verb forms are the same in male and female. So another point, whether indicates when the action was performed. It can be present, past, and future. Although there are other situations. You have mode, indicate the speaker's relationship with that he says. There are three modes: indicative, subjunctive, and imperative. Finally, we will talk about the root and the verbal designants. Well, all words are part of some words family. So all the word is a family and share a root. No. Like it can be a root or lexeme and the same or almost the same in all of them. But it has some exceptions. And the rest of the word will be the morpheme. In the nouns, adjectives and other modes, morphemes can be prefixes, infixes, or it can be interfixes and suffixes. So, however, morphemes are like the morphemes of verbs are called designances. So verb morphemes are given a special name because verb morphemes indicate various aspects: grammatical person, number, time, and mode. But the gender is not considered because all forms are the same in masculine and feminine. Gender only affects the grammatical person, who we'll see in the next video. I should be clarify that verbal endings are verbal accent or grammatical accent of the verb. To finish, I will show you the root of the verb itself is identified. To find the lexeme of a verb, we can use these tricks. First, you have to look up words from her family first and see which part stays in the same, like in the same form. For example, correr, yo corro, yo corrí, corramos. You know that correr, that is the part that not change. We remove the ending in r, er, or ir from the infinitive verb. Now you have the root, no? Cor. So you before this you have correr, corríamos, etc., etc. But now you have the root. It's like the part of the verb that never changes. I think that this was a really cool video, and it was a pretty cool introduction to the verbs in the Spanish language. So I will try to make more videos of this and explain it more. You will see more examples and things to practice, but it will be in the next videos. So I don't have nothing more to tell. I hope you like the video, and if that is really, please leave me a comment. Let me know in the comments. Leave me a like and subscribe if you want. So nothing more. See you in the next time.